by making it cheaper to borrow money. Investors will be keenly focused on what signals the Fed may send for how many more cuts it plans to make. Seth Suttel, New York.
A California judge has rejected a request for a new trial for Eric and Lyle Menendez. That shuts down another possible path to freedom for the brothers who have served decades in prison for killing their parents in 1989 at their Beverly Hills mansion. More on the story at apnews.com. I'm Haya Panjwani, AP News.
This is 8:20 a.m. WCPT Willow Springs and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Mulford. 62 tonight, under mainly clear skies, northeast winds at around 5 miles an hour. Tomorrow, 85. Lows level off around 62. Tomorrow night, mainly clear. Mainly clear Thursday, with daytime highs approaching 86. 83 Friday. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 78 Saturday, 78 Sunday, and 81 on Monday. That's your latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 81 degrees.
When you hear that a small Blizzard treat is just 85 cents in the DQ app, you might just feel like you're dreaming. 85-cent Blizzard treats. Trust us when we say you're not. But get to DQ quickly, because this dream is only a reality for so long. Hurry and get your small Blizzard treat for just 85 cents with a $1 purchase when you sign up for DQ Rewards. For a limited time at participating locations. Terms apply.
Because facts matter. You are listening to WCPT 820.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Yeah, we're driving it home, folks, but guess what? As the legendary Joan Esposito announced before we came on, we are your guest hosts. Elliott Serrano, the chief geek officer for the Patti Vasquez Show, as well as Chicago's king of geeks, among other things that I'm known as around the city. Today, though, I am joined by a good friend who I have been trying to get in the co-host chair for a while. And finally, by a happy accident, I was able to get him in here. He is Victor Aragon of fandads.com. How you doing, Victor?
I am doing great. Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
No, dude, we've known each other for quite some time. And I know I'm a big fan of Fandads. Can you explain to folks what Fandads is?
Yeah, I mean, if you've heard the term fanboy before, it always brings up the image of like the guys that are living at home, reading their comic books, playing video games, and just, collecting toys. I still do that, but now I have kids, so now I'm a dad now, so I'm a fan dad. But it was actually a concept brought up by my friend Gil Noriega and I. Basically, we worked in a calendar store together in September, and no one's buying calendars at that time, so we had so much free time that we would just come up with things to do, or, we should do this, we should do that. And then one day he just texts me the word Fandads, and I'm like, what is this? And he's like, well, we're going to have kids, so maybe we should do a blog about that. And then it's been 15 years already of us doing that.
Yeah, you've covered all the movies. You've done, I know you've done ticket giveaways at different movie premieres. You've had the studios send you swag, things that you've reviewed on your TikTok. I'm always jealous of the stuff that they send you. So we're going to get into that. We are definitely going to get into that in this first hour. In the second hour, we have Ben Cominos, who's going to be coming on as well to talk to us. Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, you can listen to it on WCPT, the Heartland Signal, and we are also on Alternative Talk, 1150 KKNW in Seattle. Shout out to all our friends out there in Seattle. I mean, our voices are being heard in the birthplace of grunge, which is something. Yes. So it's always a real privilege, a real honor and a privilege to be here and to be heard by so many people here on WCPT. And, of course, the Driving Home with Patti Vasquez is sponsored by Minocqua Brew, Source Solar, and Kids Above All. We are very grateful to all our sponsors for supporting the Patti Vasquez show, and we hope to make it worth your sponsorship dollars. You never want the sponsor to go, what were they talking about? Is that what I'm paying for? No. You're paying for quality content. So today here, even though Patti is not here, Patti is taking some time away, and I am always very I'm very tickled that she will call me. She'll go, "Hey, Elliott, I'm going to be away. Can you fill in for a couple days?" I go, "Yeah, sure." I'm happy to do it. I was able to do it today and tomorrow. Victor's going to be accompanying me today and tomorrow. The K&E show is going to be reunited. Ken Mejia Beal is going to be sitting in here with me, and that's where the dynamic completely changes. When Ken walks into the room, he just takes it over. All right, we do have a caller on the line. We've got Jim in Chicago. How you doing, Jim?
Hi, guys. Two kings are meeting in Britain at the moment. King Charles, I guess that's who it is, and then we've got Trump. I wonder if you'll mention the deal he gave to Maxwell, their favorite subject there in England, how he got her into a cushy situation. His lawyer said, he never saw Trump jaywalk. He never jaywalked against Fifth Avenue. There's no way. I wonder if Prince Andrew will come up. He was involved with the flesh-eating Epstein and his cohort. It'll be interesting to see. I wonder if they'll thank him for giving us the subject a cushy situation. Instead of 20 years in hard labor, she got badminton for until she gets out. When things cool off, I'm sure he'll pardon her.
I find it interesting. Yeah, I find it interesting. She's in a minimum security prison right now, where sex offenders are not allowed to be in minimum security, but they've made the exception for her at that point. I cannot wait for the made-for-TV movie to be made of all this, like 10 years from now. Who would star? Who would star as is it Ghislaine Maxwell? What's her name? Ghislaine Maxwell. Who would play her in the made-for-TV movie? I'm trying to cast that.
Elliot, you gotta give yourself 48 hours for that one. this whole situation couldn't be scripted. Nobody would believe where the United States is at this point. Nobody would believe it. Look at the vaccination. Just to switch the subject. 1 out of 6 kids will not get vaccinated this year. So what do we look at now? Polio? We want polio back, and we want everything else back.
We're getting Spinal Tap back. We got the movie Spinal Tap. Hey, let's bring polio back while we're at it.
Let's bring back all the old diseases. Let's go back Middle Ages.
Yeah, really. Yeah, we'll need a spinal tap. We'll need an iron lung. Yeah.
Right now, we'll need a spinal tap. Anyway, you guys have a great show. Thank you very much, guys.
Hey, thanks, Jim. It's always great to hear from you. Jim, I tell you, I always love talking to Jim. Because Jim is like that guy who, if I were sitting at a bar and he sat down next to me and started talking about it and started, giving me those rants and be like, preach, brother. Yeah. Preach. Keep going. Yeah. I'm going to buy this man another beer. I want to hear more of what he's saying. Yeah. Every time I'm on with Patti and Jim calls in, it's like comfort food to me to listen to Jim talk.
Hey, if you got those nerves at the beginning of the show and he calls, you're just like,
it calms you down. It's like, hey, Jim got the blood flowing with us right now as we're doing our little intros here. So yes, folks, this is guest host Elliott Serrano, Chicago's King of Geeks, the Chief Geek Officer of the Patti Vasquez Show. And today I am joined by Victor Aragon, although I will admit I want to call you Aragorn too. It's kind of like fits with the geek thing, you know, but with fan dads. For folks, Victor is one of the founders of fandads.com. It's a blog, but it's gone beyond that. It's more than just a blog. You have multimedia. You're on TikTok, Instagram, everywhere.
Facebook.
Pinterest,
if people still use that. I mean, I think we have a Pinterest page.
Pinterest. You have a Reddit? I think people always do the Reddit.
I don't think we do.
Reddit?
I know we have a Twitch stream, but I hardly get a chance to play any games, even though they just sent me like the new Goosebumps game.
Yeah.
And I haven't played it yet, but it's just sitting there.
Twitch is good. I mean, you can hook up your Twitch and your TikTok.
Okay.
There are other radio stations. I almost mentioned it, but there are other radio stations in Chicago that stream on Twitch while their hosts are online. Okay. So we can do that. Okay, before we hit the first break, we've got another caller on the line. Let's see, who do we have? Hello, caller. You're on the Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez with special guest hosts Elliott Serrano and Victor Aragon from fandads.com. How are you?
I am well. Victor, this is Dave from Flint, your fellow dad blogger.
Oh,
hey, there you go.
Hey, how's it going? Thank
Victor,
you.
I saw that you had posted in the dad blogger group that you were doing a live stream with the King of Geeks, and I thought, I'm in between working out and getting dinner on the table for everybody. I thought I got to pop in for a second. I actually have a real question, though, Victor.
Sure.
It's great. I love hearing you on the radio. This is very cool. Victor and I, we go way back.
Yes.
This is long overdue. This is long overdue, if you ask me. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'll talk about like the whole, like this conversation in a second after Dave's question.
Yeah. Because I don't think we've seen each other since either San Antonio or D.C. right before lockdown, so it's been a long time.
Yes.
But here's my question. I've actually won some swag in some of your giveaways, and you guys do fun giveaways, and you do a lot of them. Of all of the stuff that you've given away, what was your favorite giveaway?
Oh, man.
And may I follow up to that when you talk about it?
Yeah.
Of all the fun stuff you've given away, including your favorite, how come I never got anything? How come no swag came my way?
Did you ever enter?
You have to enter
Yeah, I know. I have to enter. I know. I would. There'll be times I would comment on there. I think there was one time you said, "Dude, we got tickets." I go, "No, I don't want to take tickets from somebody else. Go on ahead. Yeah, do that." So, but anyway, what was to Dave's question? What was your favorite?
Recently we just gave away tickets to the Monster Jam that was just here last weekend. So I think like when we do like those gifts that like for the entire family that can go, those always are great for me. Or I enjoy doing those. I know we did before like the pandemic hit. We because we do one thing that we do on our Facebook page. We do the 10 days of fan dads. And it's like one of those things that I don't really think a lot of websites do. It's like our way to give back to everybody that's been following us throughout the year. So, 10 days, we do a question a day, we pick a winner, and they'll get a prize. And as the days increase, like the prizes get bigger and bigger. So one year, what we did, we got lucky with the Chicago Toy and Game Fair that comes here every year. They gave us, a lifetime pass to whoever won that day. Oh. So they would get to go every year for free.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure, because especially with everything that went down with the pandemic, I'm not so sure how that's going. I mean, I hope they're still getting those tickets, but I mean, I could always reach out and find out. But I mean,
I would guess that the family that won it would say, "Hey, this sort of thing's been happening."
Yeah, but I haven't heard anything, so I think they're still getting it, which is kind of great. And it is coming up this year, so I mean, it's always like a fun time to go. But that's been my favorite ones to give out.
There you go.
There you go. All right, Victor, always a pleasure. I'll be listening here while I'm prepping dinner, and I love you, my friend. And Mr. King of Geeks, we'll run into each other online probably.
Probably. Thanks so much for calling in, Dave. We really appreciate it. It's always great to hear friendly voices.
Yeah, love you too, Dave. Take care.
Yeah. I was like, what are these geeky guys doing on the Progressive Talk Station? I want to talk about Trump, and I want to talk about Vance, and I want to talk about all that crazy stuff that Pam Bondi's doing. You know, talk about Pam Bondi, what Pam Bondi's doing to the Constitution. She's wiping her butt with it. That's what she's doing. I'm breaking in the voices now. Yeah. I haven't done that in a while. Anyway, but we will talk about that. And in fact, we will talk about anything that you, the WCPT caller, want to talk about. So phone lines are open, 773-763-9278, 773-763-WCPT. Also, you can send us a text. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, that's, someone, I got a casting suggestion for Ghislaine Maxwell.
Uh-oh.
Caitlyn Jenner. Oh, wow.
It's funny because I thought that, but I'm like,
you weren't going to say it?
I'm not going to say anything because I don't want lawyers calling me about it.
I know. I think right now, people are really sensitive out there right now. But yeah, we'll talk about whatever you folks want to talk about. Hey, text us. Give us a call. Victor and I are here. If you want to talk about nerdy stuff, we're here. If you want to talk about the hot takes and what's going on in the political news, we will. We do have Ben Cominos going to be joining us at the 6 o'clock hour. We'll be talking to him about, the political situations as they are. I don't know. Again, I don't know if I have anything new to contribute to the discourse right now. When I listen to all the other shows on CPT and what everybody else is saying, they're way smarter people than me right now giving commentary. So maybe we're just I just want to have some fun with the nerdy stuff that we're going on here. Definitely. All right, folks. And again, Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez is sponsored by Minocqua Brewing, Source Solar, and Kids Above All. We're going to take a quick break here and come back with more with Victor Aragon of fandads.com. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez, your special guest hosts, Elliott Serrano and Victor Aragon. We'll be right back.
The Rick Smith Show.
These are the people that we've handed the keys to the kingdom. These are the people that we've said, go ahead, run the country. So are we surprised when we said that they're going to run it into the ground? No, you could go, Rick, you've been saying this is all planned, and I think it is. I think the chaos is plotted. I think they know, as long as there's chaos, we can then do the real goal, which is breaking the federal government and stealing from we the taxpayers.
The Rick Smith Show, weeknights at 7 on WCPT 820.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-708-3091. 800-708-3091. 800-708-3091. That's 800-708-3091.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
Welcome back to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
We are back. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez on WCPT, the Heartland Signal, and the Alternative Talk, 1150 KKNW in Seattle. Hello, Seattle! Hello, Seattle! I feel like I'm a band. I'm at the band, and I'm up there on the stage. Hello, Seattle!
We just had family in town that's from Seattle. So
you did?
I don't know if they're listening, but
maybe.
Nice.
Well, they better be. I mean, you announced it on your Facebook page and everything.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Hope you guys are listening.
I hope you're listening. These are special guest hosts. Elliott Serrano, the Chicago's King of Geeks and the Chief Geek Officer for the Patti Vasquez Show, joined today by Victor Aragon of fandads.com, among many other things. The Credo, you can call us and text us, 773-763-9278, because that is the Credo mobile phone and text line. WCPT listeners now get 25% off for 2 years at Credo Mobile with the code WCPT25. Credo Mobile, a progressive phone company that is better for all people and the planet. Visit credomobile.com for more information. Again, The Credo mobile phone line and text line is 773-763-9278. If you want to interact with the Driving at Home with Patti Vasquez show or send us a text, that's the way to do it. And remember, if you go to credomobile.com and enter the code WCPT25, you get 25% off for 2 years at Credo Mobile with the code. And be sure to tune into the Rick Smith Show every weeknight at 7 and the Politics Bar with Jody Hamilton and Sean Smith-Pierce every weeknight at 8. And at 9, WCPT brings you the Matt McNeil Show from Minneapolis. And we got another. It's Steve from the Gold Coast. Holy mackerel! It's like all the old reliables are calling in today. Good afternoon, Steve. How you doing?
They're just popping into the car, so I thought I'd tune you guys in. But, I wanted to make a few points. And certainly, we need to get people to understand, okay, the summer's over, and, generally Americans tune out to what's going on politically. I mean, this summer's a bit of an outlier because there's never a dull moment with this individual in the White House. But having said that, again, Americans start to pay attention now that the fall's approaching, and it's time to do so. This is the time when you need to examine who the candidates are, who the people are who you want to forward for the primaries, because it's not just November of 2026. You need to have that infrastructure in place, and you need to have your candidates ready, and you need to have those people who are viable and ready to run and ready to raise money. And again, to be able to get the support behind them, people willing to knock on doors, make phone calls, be there. Because elections don't happen magically, and our side doesn't have that kind of money. We can't just hire people. We require volunteers. That's who we rely on. So, this is the only thing that's going to change what's going on in the world. This idea that Superman is going to sweep in and rescue us, no, you have to rescue yourself. You need to vote. You need to participate. You need to make sure that your neighbors do. And, yes, this is a blue state, Illinois, great. This is a sort of blue enclave, an island, surrounded by a sea of red in the Midwest. But you can, if you have time and if you've got a few extra dollars, you can help out in Wisconsin. You can help out in Michigan. You can help out in Iowa. You can help out other places. And so, again, these are the things that we need to start thinking about now because, again, 2026 is around the corner.
I agree, and I know when the last campaign was in full swing, I was up there knocking doors with Patty up in Wisconsin, out there for Harris, and people were a little bit discouraged because Harris would ultimately lose that state, and yet they did win some Democratic seats in that state legislature. So the whole effort there was not in vain. There was some progress made there. And to your point, Steve, too, I think you got to pay attention, especially during the primaries, because I'm telling you, there's nothing that drives me nuts more than anything is when people get to the actual election, they go, oh, that's what I got to choose from? That's what I get to choose from two old white guys? Two old white guys. I go, okay. I remember before when Biden was running for his first term, in this in 2020. The Democrats had one of the most diverse, the widest fields in their history. They had women, they had people of color, they had an openly gay man, and then people were like, nothing really excites me right now. That's right, drove me nuts. And then and
if I might, on that note, I mean, I agree with you in principle, and I think that there are times in elections where we can have a luxury of nominating someone like a Barack Obama. At this point, despite the fact that I have many friends who are gay and many friends who are of different races and ethnic groups, we need to nominate the absolute whitest guy in the world, middle-aged, liberal Democrat, because we need to win first and foremost. We can't give them an inch. I hate to say it, but I love Pete Buttigieg. I know the man, great guy. He is not the candidate for us right now. This is a world in which a lot of people have managed to cultivate entirely too much hate for all sorts of marginalized groups. And so that's why Joe Biden, quite frankly, won in 2020, because it was one, older white guy against another older white guy. And then you could just look at the record. and take everything else off the table. So, yes, in a perfect world, I would love to see somebody else. In a perfect world, if we could have a third term, I'd love to see Barack run again, if we could actually talk him into it, because I think he would defeat Trump soundly. But we're not at that stage where we're allowing people to have a third term. So in recognizing that fact, let's find somebody who can win. First and foremost, reestablish some sense of normalcy in this country before it's all slips away, because that's what we're in danger of letting it all slip away if this is allowed to continue.
There are two. I had two answers to that. Because have you seen, Victor? Have you seen the Barack Obama 2026 shirts? No. Obama, let's fix this. It's because they're like people. The Trumpers have been talking about. Well, Trump's going to get a third term. Well, if Trump can get a third term, let's have Obama do it. And I'm telling you, when I post about that, it drives MAGA nuts. They go, yeah, you're violating the Constitution. That's what Democrats want to do. You want to do that all the time. Blah 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 blah. But I'm like, you know what? I say Democrats need to elect someone Trump is media savvy. Yeah. And has this fan base, of people who think he's great and they love his opinions and they love his attitudes. I say, Democrats, we've got our own on our side, but I don't think he would accept a nomination if we tried to put him up. Yeah. Stephen Colbert.
You're absolutely right. And the other part of this is
I was thinking Newsom for a second.
Newsom? No, I'm saying Stephen Colbert. I want Stephen Colbert to run. Yeah. I want him to bring back truthiness.
Yes. If he comes back. And if I might.
Yeah.
If I might, the thing about, this particular incarnation of the Republican Party, i.e. MAGA, is defined by Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is in deteriorating health. Unless you're blind, and let's face it, some Democrats were blind about this with regard to Joe Biden. And so let's face it, where is MAGA and where is that movement post-Trump? Because really, they have nobody. J.D. Vance is not going to just take on the mantle or somebody else, within MAGA and have that kind of support. Trump is unique in this way. And then what happens then? So this is what happens when you hang everything on a personality, on a cult of personality, as opposed to policy. So, that's the thing we do have going for us.
Maybe they're going to pull like a Darth Sidious and transfer the soul of Trump into Baron. And it'll be like, in The Rise of Skywalker,
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'd say Weekend at Bernie is more of a Weekend at Bernie kind of thing. Trump will die.
Well, that's what the whole theory was a couple of weeks ago. No one saw anything about him, or they thought.
Yeah, they thought he was dead. Man, he's back. Got our hopes up. Yeah. All right, folks, we're coming up against a hard break. Thanks so much, Steve, for calling in and for getting us on our little fantasy train. When we come back, more talk about what can happen in the nation as well as in the world of geekdom. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez on WCPT, the Heartland Signal, and Alternative Talk, 1150 KKNW in Seattle. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Mulford. 62 tonight, under mainly clear skies, northeast winds at around 5 miles an hour. Tomorrow, 85. Lows level off around 62. Tomorrow night, mainly clear. Mainly clear Thursday, with daytime highs approaching 86. 83 Friday. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 78 Saturday, 78 Sunday, and 81 on Monday. That's your latest Chicago weather update. Currently, it's 80 degrees.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter. Mind over matters.
Dr. Amy Harris Nuan, as you know, this show is about challenging you to think differently, to make different choices in your life, to take action, to create positive outcomes in your life. So I want to challenge you to look at your life holistically. Where am I satisfied? What areas need attention? And then go to work, take an action what you need to do.
Mind Over Matters with Dr. Amy Harris Nuan. Sundays at 10 a.m. on WCPT 820.
Fall is here and colder nights are on the way. Is your home ready to stay warm and energy efficient? Green Attic is Chicagoland's trusted expert in attic insulation, spray foam, crawl space encapsulation, and mold remediation, solutions that seal in comfort and cut down on high heating bills. If your upstairs feels drafty or your heating system is constantly running, your attic may be to blame. Their team helps balance temperatures and reduce energy waste from the top down. They also offer full-service roofing through Green Attic Roofing, covering asphalt shingles, flat roofs, premium roofing solutions, and solar panels. Every project comes with a 10-year labor warranty and instant online estimates to help homeowners replace aging roofs before winter sets in. With over 15 years of experience and over 1,000 five-star reviews, Green Attic delivers real comfort season after season. Visit greenattic.com for a free installation consultation or go to greenatticroofing.com for an instant roofing estimate today.
WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter.
Continues to lead the way with progressive values and in preserving democracy. Your support of the Minocqua Brewing Company Super PAC efforts in Wisconsin and beyond strengthens the fight against MAGA Republicans. You can now purchase progressive beers like Labor Lager, Love Wins Fruited Sour, and the Resistance IPA in Chicago at Rogers Park Provisions, Diversey Beer, Wine and Spirits in Lakeview, Park West Liquor, Wine and Beer in Lincoln Park, Logan Square Liquors, and Tip Top Food and Liquors in Westtown. Visit MinocquaBrewingCompany.com for all their Chicagoland locations. As always, no matter how bad our sports teams are, please drink responsibly.
No detours, no distractions, just bold ideas and real talk. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
And yes, this is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez, but the voices that you're hearing are a bit more masculine. We have some guest hosts, Elliott Serrano. I am the known as Chicago's King of Geeks, as well as the Chief Geek Officer for the Patti Vasquez Show. You might have heard me in the past. I would often ride sidecar with her on her show, as well as fill in. And it's really nice to be here. I am joined by Victor Aragon of fandads.com. It's a website, multimedia site dedicated towards, being a dad, being a geeky kind of dad and raising your kids.
Yes.
And we'll talk more about that. But I think you've got a couple of reads that you're going to do for me, right?
Yes. Tomorrow on Chew's Views, Richard Chew will be joined in studio by retired Army Major General Randy Manner. He is the voice acting vice chair of the National Guard Bureau, plus Chew's Views regular Kurt Mullett and author, Lita McCulley-Steletsky.
That's why I gave it to you to read.
Choose Views weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. Central on WCPT 820 a.m., the Heartland Signal website. Tune in on YouTube and Facebook. And also on Wednesday on Live, Local, and Progressive, Joe Esposito's guests are media critic Mark Jacob and Jennifer Schultz. And Spencer Craikley, author of Patriots of Two Nations and the host of the podcast Dastardly Cleverness in the Service of Good. Live, Local, and Progressive weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Central on WCPT, Chicago's progressive talk for 20 years.
And yes, you're listening to WCPT, Chicago's Progressive Talk. You want to give us a call to participate in the conversation. You can do so at 773-763-9278 to call in on the Credo mobile phone and text line. Again, that's 773-763-9278, 773-763-WCPT. If you use that number to text us, it will pop up on the screen in front of me. If you use it to call, you will go to our switchboard where Lady B is here ready to answer your calls and get you on the air to talk to both myself and Victor. Anyway, so we were talking before we got into the whole talk about casting Ghislaine Maxwell for the movie, and who can the Democrats get to run in the next election? I say Stephen Colbert. I think here's the thing: you need someone who can do all the podcasts, right, and do like all the appearances on this multimedia stuff, and make an impact. Because you had the guys from like the not the Joe Rogan podcast, the other one. I want to call them Unranted or something or the other. Okay. With the one comedian dude who he credits himself for getting Donald Trump elected. Okay. It's the one where the guys sit around on couches and they have like a subject in the middle, and then whenever the subject, whoever they're interviewing really starts getting at a point, they start cracking jokes at each other. It's like, like a real bro type of deal.
Logan Paul?
No, not the Logan Paul. Logan Paul, I've listened to Logan Paul's podcast.
Okay.
It's actually a pretty good podcast. He lets his guests talk.
Speak. Okay.
He lets them talk. These guys don't do that.
Right.
But anyway, I think Stephen Colbert would handle them pretty well.
If Stephen Colbert would do it as his character, but instead of being far right, being far left, I think that would be hilarious.
No, but see, you got to do it as far right. Because remember when the Colbert Report was on?
Yeah.
People didn't realize he was doing a character.
Yeah.
The right loved him because they thought he was being serious. They didn't realize it was satire.
So doing it in that way as a Democrat.
Exactly.
That would be,
That would be brilliant, I think.
Would be amazing.
And Aaron Sorkin needs to bring back the West Wing. Those are my two recommendations for Save Us Media people. Yes. Aaron Sorkin and Stephen Colbert can save us.
They need to bring back the Newsroom.
The Newsroom, that was another one, too, that I really enjoyed. Okay, I think we've got Paul in Seattle. Paul calling all the way from Seattle on Alternative Talk, 1150 KKNW in Seattle. Welcome, Paul, to the Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez with special guest hosts Elliott Serrano and Victor Aragon. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine. Thank you.
Okay, good. This other Venezuelan boat that they blew up, and I've only heard Trump comment on it once, so I wish I could hear the clip again, because he said, yeah, we got another one, and this time we know they had drugs because there were big bags of cocaine and fentanyl floating all over the ocean. I was like, are you serious? First thing is, this time you know they have the drugs? You mean you weren't quite sure, and the media is asking, how do you know they had drugs? Well, this time we know because they were floating all over. Didn't happen to pick any of them up, did you? To make sure that these big yard waste bags full of stuff were, I mean, really, is that the way they're packing them these days? Yard waste bags full of cocaine and fentanyl? Like, a yard waste bag full of fentanyl is enough to overdose the entire world. But no, we didn't pick. Or how about the bodies? Did you bother to pick those up? No. And nobody's asking this. No, the media just seems to be absolutely useless. Nobody asks any questions that they're afraid they're going to get pounded. That's a nasty question. Yes, did we pick up the drugs? No, that's a nasty question. You're nasty.
You know what's driving me nuts, Paul? You know what's driving me nuts, Paul? The fact that you have a better Trump impersonation than I do. I can't do Trump. What is this?
Yeah, I'm like listening to this. I'm like, okay, I got to do a double take here.
Yeah, I got to do. Wait, hold on. Yeah. This guy's got pretty good Trump. Remember, Trump did say. Remember when he was talking about the wall, and he said we got to make the wall see through because they're going to toss the drugs over the wall. Remember he was talking about that?
Yeah.
They're going to toss the drugs over the wall. See, I can't do it as Trump. Yeah, see, I'm not even going to bother to go into a Trump impersonation. I don't have one either. So that is like, as a radio host, I feel that's one of my weaknesses.
Yeah, but no, I kind of agree. Like that, people are staying away from asking these tough questions because exactly for that, they don't want to get like roasted on the air, and then plus they probably don't want to get like their credentials removed. Which is kind of scary.
And can I tell you something? At this point, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter. We've gotten to the point where Trump can come out and say, yeah, no, we just decided to blow the guys up. We weren't sure, but we just did it. And everyone would be like, oh, okay. And then he'd be like, yeah. And then everyone would be like, well, what are you going to do? Legacy media is like, again, useless to this whole thing. Oh, wait, which brings me up. The $15 billion lawsuit that Trump is going to file against, is it the New York Times?
Yeah.
For the whole birthday letter thing, the birthday thing, $15 billion he's going to sue. I'm like, really?
Well, yeah, but you know what about that? By the way, I really, and it is sort of a concept in law, like that you have to come to court with clean hands. I really wish the court would say, yeah, when you pay E. Jean Carroll the $88.5 million that you owe her, we'll consider taking your case up.
There you go. There you go.
And by the way, you have your lawyer that look up the New York Times v. Sullivan. Is that what he'd have to prove? He'd have to prove that all of the facts were not only of the story were false, but they were intended to be false, recklessly so. I mean, that's really going to be an interesting case. I don't think he thinks about the fact that there's discovery and that the other team gets to ask for even more evidence.
Right, because he's not suing as president. He's suing as a private individual. He's suing as himself. And Paul, I'm getting on the text line that you are a regular caller and you've had a show on CPT. So again, maybe you can coach me on a Trump impersonation, because I feel right now. Although, watch, the moment I finally get it down, like, Trump's no longer around.
Well, the only thing is about that is that it does cause me to. I get woozy when I do it. It's just one of those things. It's like holding my breath.
So only use it like when you need to. Though.
When it's in dire situations. Paul, thank you so much for calling in and for sharing with us. We appreciate you. And real quick before we hit this last break, Keithon in Chicago. Keithon, I've got 2 minutes for you, buddy. If you want to hit us with your takes.
No, that's fine. Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate you taking in for Patti Vasquez. And you guys are doing a great job. I listen to the show all the time. And I just want to mention that it seems that everybody forgot that the Department of Defense has now changed to the Department of War, which I'm going to say in African American terms means Department of the White Aryan Race. And it's kind of offensive to how the Republican Party is just doing everything to the Latino, because they're not Mexicans or immigrants. They're from another country. You know, they're basically visitors until they decide to go back home, until they get home. And now with the Department of the White Aryan Race, they can do pretty much whatever they want to. In war times, the laws of the regular American people usually take advantage of, they disappear. Now we're at war with everything from television to radio to just the neighbor. We're just at war with everything. You can't say anything or do anything that's outside of the realm of what? They haven't even made the decisions on the laws that they had before they got into this mess. Now everybody, but there's two guns for every person that owns a house that has to protect it for everything that's going on in the American world today. Before 2000, we didn't have, our biggest problem was somebody from a European country, a person that you let in with no questions of no papers, please, and all that, and had the privilege of the opportunity to enjoy the American dream. And as soon as 9/11, the department, the Homeland Security comes up, and they make a department which has a defense fund of trillions of dollars. Because you won't really know anything that's going on with the budgets, because they done cut so much money out of the government and so many people out of the government, which takes away insurances, which takes away the taxes, which takes away everything, which takes away the economy. It takes away everything. And when they let all that happen and then come down with the Department of War, black people have no choice but to follow their own instincts and mind of what the American is going to do from here on out.
Thanks for chiming in, Keithon. Those are some really powerful words, and I appreciate you sharing them with us here on WCPT.
If you're purchasing a new home or refinancing your existing home, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. Suzanne called after hearing me explain discount points on my radio show because her son was purchasing a home in Colorado. I answered Suzanne's questions and encouraged her son to call me for a free consultation. Suzanne was so impressed with the service I provided, she wrote this 5-star Google review. Quote, I sent David an email today with a question about discount points that I heard him talk about on his radio show. And he called me back this evening with a complete explanation. I'm so impressed with his responsiveness and knowledge. Thank you, Suzanne, for the amazing review. I strongly encourage everyone to check out Team Hochberg's close to 600 5-star Google reviews. Team Hochberg helped Suzanne and thousands of radio listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. That's 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. Lower.com, equal housing lender, MLS 112-461.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
We are driving it home with on the Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez show, but we have special guest hosts. Elliott Serrano, Chicago's King of Geeks, and the Chief Geek Officer for the Patti Vasquez show. I am joined in studio today by Victor Aragon of fandads.com. And to answer you, texter from the 847, no, I'm not cheating on Ken. Is Elliott cheating on Ken? I'm not cheating on Ken. Ken was offered. In fact, Ken was supposed to come in today, and you were going to come in tomorrow. Yes. But then because Ken told me I can't come in on Tuesday, I can come in on Wednesday, and then I find out no, it was backwards. But in the end, that worked out better for us.
Yeah,
because you had gymnastics for your kids tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to take you away from that. But Ken will be here tomorrow in his best. I know he's going to be very colorful tomorrow when he comes in. You're definitely going to want to watch us on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Better be watching tomorrow then. Yeah, you better be. Now, don't forget, you can listen to, rate, and share the Driving It Home full episodes and featured interviews and podcasts. They're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and Amazon. Recent additions to Patti's featured interviews podcast are Iowa Senator-elect Caitlin Dray, comedian Paula Poundstone, which we have a giveaway. I'm going to talk to contest right now about that. Paul Glassris of the Washington Monthly, candidate for U.S. Senate Colin Aldred, columnist Heidi Stevens, who I love. I follow her on Facebook, and Nathan Truth of the Election Truth Alliance. Search for Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez, or get the links on Patti's show page by visiting heartlandsignal.com and clicking on her picture. So again, go to heartlandsignal.com, click on her picture. You can find the podcast and the archive of all the interviews. Now, here's the thing, too. Speaking of Paula Poundstone, we've got a pair of tickets to give away for her show on September 27th. So Saturday, September 27th, Paula Poundstone is bringing her smart, observational humor and spontaneous wit to Skokie's North Shore Center for the Performing Arts for one night only. I remember I've always been a big fan of Paula Poundstone. Kevin Matthews, when Kevin Matthews was on the Loop for the longest time, he would bring do comedy with Paula Poundstone all the time. Now, tickets are available at northshorecenter.org, but right now, I've got a pair of tickets to give away. Now, if you're the, let's say, caller number dose, you're the second caller at 773-763-9278, a pair of tickets for Paula Poundstone are yours. So again, next caller, two callers. So if you're on right now, I see Roosevelt on right now. Sorry, Roosevelt, I can't give it to you because you've been on. It's going to have to be the second caller up. You're going to get those tickets this Saturday, September 27th at 8 p.m. And again, the number is 773-763-9278. Contests running on WCPT are open to listeners 18 or older and residents of the greater Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana area. One entry per person, one winner per household. Void where prohibited by law. Listeners may only win or qualify to win once every 30 days. Complete rules are available on our website at WCPT820.com by clicking the contest tab. Wow! Whoa! Okay. Wow, people want them Paula Poundstone tickets. Bing, 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 bing.
She was in a Marvel comic.
Is she?
She was in a She-Hulk comic.
She was in a She-Hulk comic? Oh,
yeah.
Of course. I want to see someone who was in a She-Hulk comic, for sure.
I think it was like the She-Hulk said, watch me do an impersonation of Paula Poundstone, and she was breaking a rock. That's what it was. It was just her name.
Poundstone?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Roosevelt, my friend, you've been waiting on the line. It's always, Roosevelt, can I tell you something? It's so nice to hear from our regulars here on WCPT. Thanks so much for calling in.
Thank you for taking my call, my friend. Hey, you guys doing an imitation of Trump won't do you any good because you have to update it. Half his part of his face is fallen, so he's probably not going to sound the same as he used to.
Well, they said he got a stroke. They think that some people have said that it looks like he had a stroke because part of his lip was droopy. But since then, he has done appearances and he sounded fine. So,
okay.
Well,
you know who I think has done the best imitation of Trump is the current kid from Saturday Night Live,
Justin Austin Green.
Incredible.
Incredible. No, he is
incredible. He's got him the mannerisms. the twitching, the looking away, everything. I mean, he's got it. I think out of all of them, because there was quite a few of them. I'm glad we're in the subject. What the heck is his name? The guy that does all the movies, the comedian, tall guy. He's in every movie. He's in a movie with just about anybody. What's his name? The guy with the curly hair. The guy that says Carabanga, and then he jumps into the pool. What's his name?
Pauly Shore?
Pauly Shore. Wow, you're really going back.
Hair jumping in a pool. Cowabunga. That's what came to mind.
Anyway.
Go on.
Anyway, I got off my subject that I wanted to talk about.
No worries.
So from
and respectfully, Roosevelt, I got a hard break coming up, so I don't want to cut you off. So I'll try to get in there.
I want to bring up one thing. The gentleman that they killed, 37 years old, a couple of days ago in Franklin Park. They made such a fuss of this kid, Charlie Kirk. They elevated him to sainthood, practically. And it's a shame that the way they value certain lives and other lives and the way they treat criminals, the world is upside down. That's my topic, I guess.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Roosevelt. There's been a lot of discourse with that going on, and I, quite frankly, again, people who've been a lot smarter than I am, have been able to give much more insightful commentary on it. And I don't know if I have anything new to add to the conversation. Yeah. Plus, let's be honest, you say anything about what's been going on with him, people are, no matter what it is, people are going to take it the wrong way. I will say this. Mm-hmm. Robert Redford died this morning.
Yes.
Also died in Utah. Surrounded by his family. Surrounded by his family. Died peacefully in bed, surrounded by his family. And I'll tell you right now, ain't nobody going to complain if you say, hey, either Robert Redford was a good guy or not a great guy.
Yes.
Ain't no one's going to lose their job over that. No one's going to stir any controversy. Some people might disagree with you, but it's never going to get to that point.
It's funny you mentioned that. I'm going to close it with this. I think they got a plan. They got something up their sleeve as far as this kid. They're going to do something with this. They're going to try to silence everybody, which they're doing it already by what you just finished saying. But I think they're going to go further than that. The way they're treating this kid, I don't know. But one more thing that just came to mind. Did you guys notice that Candace Owens was a real good friend of Charlie Kirk, and all those young MAGAs or whatever you want to call it, they wanted that Epstein list, including Charlie Kirk. Did you guys know about that?
Oh yeah, no. There's a conspiracy theory going around that There's
a lot.
There's the whole thing. Charlie Kirk fell afoul of Trump and blah blah blah. Again,
yeah.
But it's kind of crazy. If anything, all I say is at this point, the government can't silence speech. They can't. They not legally. You go to court with it. It's gonna get tossed out. But what can happen is there can be a chilling effect, and we can silence each other. Because you have people getting canceled, you have people getting angry about what somebody said, and they're calling their place of employment and wanting to get them fired and so on and so forth. I don't know.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. This is along the same subject. Whatever happened to the guy that attempted to shoot the assassination on Trump?
Notice how no one talks about that anymore.
That just disappeared.
No one ever talks about it. And you notice how
the shooter.
Yeah. Oh, they had the kid. They caught the kid. It was like he was even younger. He was like a 20-year-old kid, apparently.
It just disappeared.
It disappeared. And it disappeared, just like the scar on Trump's ear. You never notice how they kept saying that it got
regrew.
Yeah, apparently it got blown off because when you have a shell that size, it's gonna do whatever it is. And he had that huge Band-Aid on there, and you look at it going, he's Wolverine. That's what it was. They gave him a healing factor. See, we got to make it geeky somehow.
Yes.
And by the way,
Lizard.
I do need to correct myself. I completely flubbed the name of the actor who does that spot-on impersonation of Donald Trump. It's James Austin Johnson. Not Austin Green. It's James Austin Johnson.
You're thinking of 90210.
90210, yeah, right. Yeah. Sorry. I have... Thanks, Roosevelt. Thanks for calling in. I have so much useless knowledge in my head, like when it comes to names and names of actors and movies and characters and stuff. I tend to mix everything up. And I know there was somebody out there listening going, that's not the name of the guy. Who put you on the radio? You don't even know the simple name of the guy on Saturday Night Live who did the Trump impersonation. Get that guy. That's how I get canceled.
Well, the phone lines blew up when you said the name wrong. So
it was either the Paula Poundstone or it was people who wanted to correct me on James Austin Johnson, who, yes, brilliant actor and one of the best impersonations.
Yes.
All right, we are coming up against the next break, and but when we come back, we do have Ben Cominos of our friends up in I lost my read here. I know I've talked to Ben in the past. Good guy. If you go to the WCPT Facebook page, you'll see the promotion for today. And Jerry got a picture of you, me, and Ben. We're all geeks in glasses. And although if you're looking at the Facebook right now, I'm not wearing my glasses right now. Oh God. Okay. I know Lady B at any minute is going to hit this hard break, so I want to get this in real quick. I recently got contact lenses. Okay. Because I was getting nuts, and the insurance I'm on now, it covers contacts, or at least they were really pushing contacts on me. Right. Although the problem is when I wear contacts, I can't read because I'm nearsighted. Okay. So I can read perfectly fine without my glasses on. But if I put the contacts on, I'm doing the grandpa got to hold the thing way away from my face reading. I don't know. I might need like reading glasses when I'm wearing my glasses, which is kind of ridiculous. But anyway, that's first world problems, I guess. All right, folks, when we come back, we're going to talk more about what's going on. Yes, folks, you can chime in and tell us what you're thinking about today's hot takes. Call us at 773-763-9278. That's 773-763-WCPT. I believe we gave the tickets away for Paula Poundstone. Okay, so that's been done. Congratulations to who won. I'll find out after the break who won those tickets. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez with special guests guest hosts Elliott Serrano and Victor Aragon. We will be back.
This is WCPT telling you how you can shop blue. Are you looking to get that new computer so you can do great things like surf the web, find Heartland Signal, and stream WCPT? Let's look at some computer companies that support the Democratic Party. Lenovo donates $56,000 to the Democratic Party in 2024. That's 89% of their donations. While Hewlett-Packard, or HP, donated $383,000 to the Democratic Party, as well 89% of their donations went to Democrats. Apple donated $4,701,347 to the Democratic Party. Microsoft donated $5,397,633 to Democrats in 2024, while Sony donated $1,268,000 to the Democratic Party in 2024. That was 95% of their donations, everybody. This has been WCPT telling you how you can shop blue.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
AP News, I'm Haya Panjwani. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro says the nation's leaders must turn the tide against political violence and reject vengeance. AP's Ed Donahue.
At the Eradicate Hate Global Summit in Pittsburgh, Shapiro pointed out the attempted assassination of President Trump, the killing of United Healthcare CEO, and the shooting death of a Democratic lawmaker in Minnesota. He criticized President Trump as using what he called the rhetoric of rage in the wake of Charlie Kirk's killing.
Unfortunately, some, from the dark corners of the internet all the way to the Oval Office, want to cherry pick which instances of political violence they want to condemn.
Shapiro says by not condemning all violence, the president failed that leadership test, failed the morality test, and it makes the country less safe. I'm Ed Donahue.
Prosecutors brought a murder charge against Tyler Robinson, who's accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk. Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray described a note found indicating why Tyler Robinson targeted Kirk.
The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated,
quote, I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it.
Sports fans have a lot to juggle to stay up to date with their teams. Corresponding Gethin Coolbaugh reports.
A new poll finds sports fans are likelier to use a combination of streaming services and traditional TV options to access their favorite teams. The Associated Press Nork Center for Public Affairs Research poll shows this complicated and often expensive patchwork is common for many sports fans and leaves them beholden to multiple platforms and subscriptions. About 4 in 10 people who follow sports extremely or very closely use both cable and satellite TV plus a sports streaming platform. That's compared with about 2 in 10 people who follow sports somewhat closely. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
This is AP News.
I'm Seth Sutal, and this is the AP Markets Report. Stocks edged back a bit from their record heights on Wall Street. The S&P 500 fell 0.1% Tuesday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 125 points. It's about 0.3%. The Nasdaq Composite slipped 0.1%. Stocks have run to records on expectations that the Federal Reserve will announce its first interest rate cut of the year on Wednesday. The lower interest rates are intended to help shore up the job market by making it cheaper to borrow money. Investors will be keenly focused on what signals the Fed may send for how many more cuts it plans to make. Seth Sutel, New York.
A California judge has rejected a request for a new trial for Eric and Lyle Menendez. That shuts down another possible path to freedom for the brothers who have served decades in prison for killing their parents in 1989 at their Beverly Hills mansion. More on the story at apnews.com. I'm Haya Panjwani, AP News.
This is 8:20 a.m. WCPT Willow Springs and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now your WCPT 820 weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Mulford. 62 tonight, under mainly clear skies, northeast winds at around 5 miles an hour. Tomorrow, 85. Lows level off around 62. Tomorrow night, mainly clear. Mainly clear Thursday, with daytime highs approaching 86. 83 Friday. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 78 Saturday, 78 Sunday, and 81 on Monday. That's your latest Chicago weather update. Currently, it's 79 degrees.
Hi, I'm Morgan Fairchild, and I am a lifetime lover of animals. I've rescued every pet I've ever had, so I know firsthand that when you adopt a shelter pet and make them a member of your family, it not only enriches you and your family's lives, but that of your pet's life as well. The champions at American Humane have been helping animals for more than 140 years. Whether certifying the humane treatment of farm animals, rescuing animals caught in disasters, ensuring the safety of animal stars on screen, or protecting our planet's endangered species, they go above and beyond to further their mission and make the world a kinder place for animals. Please consider adopting a shelter pet and supporting American Humane.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing ass says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
And yes, this is the Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez, but Patti's not in today, nor will she be in tomorrow. In fact, I don't think she's going to be in this week. I am your special fill-in guest host, Elliott Serrano, Chicago's King of Geeks, and the chief geek officer for the Patti Vasquez show. She has had me riding sidecar with her, co-hosting, as well as filling in for her on her vacations and her trips away. I sure hope wherever she is, she doesn't bring another hurricane or snowstorm or something with her. Like every time she goes to New Orleans, that tends to happen. And I'm joined by my co-host today is Victor Aragon of fandads.com. You should go to fandads.com to learn more about what it's like to be a grown-up man who used to be a man-child raising kids.
Man-child. It sounds like Mowgli.
And we want to welcome Minnesota KTNF AM 950, of course, 1150 KKNW in Seattle, as well as WCPT 820 on the Heartland Signal, where you are listening to two grown men talk about politics, but also trying to make every nerdy reference that they can as they go through it. We've already had, I want Stephen Colbert to run for president on the Democratic ticket, but do it as his character from the Colbert Report, because that's the way to get the right to vote for him, because they won't be able to tell it's satire. Exactly. Just like the first time around, they couldn't tell it was satire. Yeah. I'm wondering if our next guest on the line will agree with us. Let's bring on Ben Cominos, host of Outside the Box, coming to us at WHBY 1150 AM in Appleton, Wisconsin. Geeks with glasses unite! We're Voltroning this baby together.
Hey, Pat.
How you doing, Ben?
How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing good. Did you see the image that they put of us on the WCPT Facebook page?
I haven't, no.
Okay, it's all three of us with our glasses on. They like Voltroned us, you know?
Wonderful.
But it's like...
I'll let people know what they're getting into, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But it's like an inverted Voltron. I mean, because it's like a V. Right. And I don't know, what part does that make Ben? Is he like the head of Voltron, but we're all standing on our heads? Or, I don't know. Again, folks, you're going to have to look at the Facebook page and see for yourself.
The feet to carry us through
the feet that is going to carry us to the next break. Anyway, I don't know if you caught our discourse in the last hour, but people have got stuff to say about everything. We've had Trump blowing up boats. We've got Pam Bondi, the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, Trump suing the New York Times for $15 billion, and then everybody apparently on this radio station has a better Trump impersonation than I do. Do you have one, Ben?
No, I wish. I love my voice for radio, but it doesn't lend itself to impressions or accents.
Yeah, see, you and I both, man. I'm telling you, I can do a disgruntled old White Sox fan if you need that.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, telling you, the steam hasn't been the same since Comiskey sold them. I'm telling you, Bill Veeck, they need to bring back Bill Veeck. If they bring back Bill Veeck, the team will be better. Bill Veeck's son does he's out there, but yeah. But anywho, I don't mean to sidetrack us, Ben. What has been the topic of conversation for you up there in Appleton, Wisconsin?
You know, it's an interesting time these days. I tried today. I swear I tried to do a show about Wisconsin politics, which is what the show is supposed to be about. We had Kelda Roys announcing she was running for governor. And I think I got about 9 minutes in before people started panic calling on one side of the aisle or the other about the fallout from last Wednesday. And it's absolutely dominating the conversation right now. And what's interesting is I've had a ton of people reach out to me since these shows, and I've been very much stressing actually calming down the rhetoric, which I don't think a lot of people, especially in talk radio, are doing. And people have said that it's been calming, but at the same time, there's just a lot of nervousness out there right now. So you throw that in conjunction with this seeming to almost print a license for Trump to usher in surveillance. I've been saying it for weeks now. He is the Trojan horse of surveillance. He is getting MAGAs to essentially voluntarily get rid of their own rights in the name of making sure we get those radical leftists or those Mexicans or whoever the hell they are demonizing in that particular moment. Mm-hmm. And you listed all those things, whether it's Pam Bondi or suing the press or whatever you're talking about there. This is all going to be ushered in under the guise of something about Kirk when it's all said and done. And that's kind of the way we've been framing it, at least up in Appleton.
Radical leftist Mexicans is a faction in AAA Lucha. They're the RLM. I mean, I get your point, Ben. I mean, I know. I guess I can see that. I mean, but aren't we already kind of living in a surveillance state as it is? We got Ring cameras being installed. Police want to be able to come up to you and say, hey, can we look at the footage on your thing here? Mm-hmm. We've got cameras on practically every corner. People like it.
People has a phone with the camera.
Yeah, people are constantly recording everybody on cameras. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying we're kind of like, we've been going in a direction, and I don't know how often you see people really pushing back on that when they consider, oh, well, like if my car gets robbed, I want to be able to get footage of, who broke into my car and whatever,
Here's the difference. You're 1,000% right. It's the reason I don't have Ring cameras or Alexa or any of that jazz is for exactly what you're talking about. What's different about this administration is the Alex Karp relationship, the Palantir relationship, the Peter Thiel relationship. What's happening here is there's now the Trump administration is floating the idea of working with Palantir, who also works over in the Middle East, allowing Israel to be able to determine before a crime is committed, they can determine if somebody's going to, quote unquote, engage in terrorist action. So what they did was create a master data set and run it through the government, funneling all of our information into there. I'm sure to a certain extent that's happening, but this is a coordinated and well-articulated data set that you can crack down on whoever may be perceived as political enemies. And you guys know as well as I do, if Kamala Harris and Palantir were partnering together, the Republican right will be absolutely losing their mind, saying it's government overreach, they're putting us all in data sets, and will be losing their mind, as we should be doing right now, regardless of who's president, but especially because Donald Trump is president. Difference being, I'd like to think the left would be mad about it no matter what. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I'd like to think it would be the case. And the right's being silent about it right now. I feel like this Kirk stuff only going to make them more agreeable to the idea. I don't like the way it's trending.
I mean, it's a Minority Report for folks who are wondering. It's a total Minority Report.
He's got the precogs.
The precogs, yeah. But Palantir, I was watching online. There was a woman gave a great dissertation on that with Palantir, and mind you, this is grand a scale in the United States. What the Pentagon has already been doing in overseas, in the Middle East, in Afghanistan, in Iraq. They had these algorithms that were pretty much pointing at who the drone strikes should hit next.
So the sleeper
and they were using them. They were just following whatever the algorithm said. And this is like the whole, not that they necessarily did anything, but it was probably likely that they would do something. And boom. And mind you, and that happened under Obama too. So I'm not trying to be a both sidesism kind of guy, but at the same time, this sort of thing has been coming for a while. And now that the big beautiful bill means that AI doesn't get any sort of regulation for the next 10 years. Yeah, as you said, Ben, it's like all bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you just watch the dominoes falling. And today, I think, was a pretty egregious example, saying, for how many decades did we have to hear the right talk about how hate speech is protected speech when they wanted to say something about black people or gay people or whatever the situation was? But the second it is speech highlighting right-wing talking heads, fomenting fear and anxiety, all of a sudden we got to watch ourselves and we need to be careful about it. I'm telling you, today, I think you're seeing how these pieces are fitting together here. I think it was a bad day today for America. Not to say this stuff's going to happen. To their credit, a lot of the Republican right, voters, not representatives, they're all cowards, but voters have pushed back against the freedom of speech stuff, against this overt censorship. But to what extent? That has yet to be seen, but they are pushing back.
Yeah, these kids are going to these colleges and they're learning about the trans and that my kid. When I was a kid, the only trans I knew was a Trans Am. And that car knew what kind of car it was. You're getting these kids indoctrinated. They're going to the quad and they're learning about all these alternative lifestyles. To me, that's how folks sound when they talk about that. Like, come on. Let people be people, yes. Conservatives who've said for the longest time, we want small government. Government needs to stay out of people's lives. We're being persecuted for our beliefs. Yeah. You're persecuting us for our beliefs. And they're like, okay, we're going to fire you. We're going to get you fired for your beliefs, essentially.
Well, with like the National Guard going into all these like cities, where's like the militia that's going to fight them? Supposedly? That's what we
will talk about that when we come back. Yes, the authoritative government, the tyrannical government that the Second Amendment is supposed to protect us from. I'm like, okay, 2A guys, where are you?
Yep.
Can you step up? I'm waiting. We're waiting for you to rise up against the tyrannical government.
Get your cosplay on and go outside.
Get out there. Go out there. I'm sure the National Guard would love to talk to you about your Second Amendment rights, which, quite frankly, are obsolete, but that's me. All right, folks, we're going to take a break. When we come back, more with Ben Cominos, host of Outside the Box from WHBY 1150 AM in Appleton, Wisconsin. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez with special guest hosts Elliott Serrano and Victor Aragon of fandads.com. We'll be right back.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
I think the term gentle parenting may have gotten a bad rap. The more people talk about it, the more I've come to realize that they think it's quote-unquote soft. But if you dig a little deeper, you may come to learn it's more about warmth coupled with boundaries. Consider this. A few years ago, Pew published a report that found nearly half of parents want to raise their children differently than how they grew up. Fascinating. So here's what you need to know. Most importantly, gentle parenting is about emotional regulation, maintaining calm, and helping your child to do the same. You want to make sure they feel seen, that you understand what they're going through, but that you still hold boundaries. When it comes to consequences, make sure they're logical consequences. If they hit their friend with a toy, the play date then is over, right? Doesn't mean you necessarily have to take away their TV time as well. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
When you hear that a small Blizzard treat is just 85 cents in the DQ app, you might just feel like you're dreaming. 85-cent Blizzard treats. Trust us when we say you're not. But get to DQ quickly, because this dream is only a reality for so long. Hurry and get your small Blizzard treat for just 85 cents with a $1 purchase when you sign up for DQ Rewards. For a limited time at participating locations. Terms apply.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
From city streets to political beats, you're driving it home with Patti Vasquez, where progressive talk fuels the ride.
Yes, this is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez on WCPT, the Heartland Signal, and Alternative Talk 1150 KKNW, as well as KTNF AM 950 in Minnesota. We have Ben Cominos, host of Outside the Box, coming out of a WHBY 1150 AM in Appleton, Wisconsin. And Ben is, you sound like Jor-El before the Science Council telling us, Krypton, the bad stuff going down on Krypton, and no one's listening.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way sometimes. It's one of those days. I'll tell you what it is. I went to go see that new Stephen King movie, The Long Walk, before you guys called.
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it yet?
There was 2 screenings, and I wasn't able to make either of them. So hopefully I'll see it soon.
I got to tell you, I think that's what they're going to be calling the Trump administration for the entire nation, The Long Walk. Who's going to make it to the end?
You know, the subtext was pretty thick that you definitely could make that jump, that was the point of what the director is trying to get across. I'll tell you what, I like dark, I'm a horror movie guy. I have seen some dark stuff in my day. This is an hour and 48 minutes of just somberness. So you guys have me in a certain mood right now.
All right.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of people just walking out of that, just down or crying.
Yeah, well, I heard the first 5 minutes of the movie, some people walk out, right in the very beginning.
Okay.
Something really shocking happens in the very beginning of the movie, and some people go, nope, can't do it. And they walk out. And then, but if you make it to the end, you're worn out. And mind you, Stephen King wrote The Long Walk in 1977. He wrote that back in the 70s. And yet it feels so for present time. Yeah. Okay.
It's honestly, there's something nice about that because it really does feel like it was written for this exact moment. And the fact that it resonated in the 70s, there's something that lets you think okay, we've been here. We can get on the other side of this. This will be all right. So there's something there. I'm telling you. That movie.
Yeah,
he's a man.
All right. I mean, and if you need to clear your palate, the new Superman movie is going to be on HBO Max this Friday.
Yes.
So if you need a little bit of light, you need to cheer up a bit. There it is. That's it. Because that movie was.
I wanted to see the new Toxic Avenger, but it was in theaters for 2 weeks and it's already gone. The reviews are through the roof. I was so excited, and they were like, "Yeah, it's not here anymore." And I was like, "Oh, I guess I'll do this then." Very tonally different movie.
I would think, yeah. I mean, I saw the original Toxic Avenger when I was a kid. Going, I had never seen a trauma film before then. Although I, of course, not coincidentally, that's where James Gunn got his start with Trauma Films, and then would go on to do, the Guardians of the Galaxy. He did another movie before that. I forgot what the indie film was, and then the Superman. Slither. That was that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So see, here we go. Look, we're all being geeks here. I love this. I love that Ben, you are one of us. One of us. One of us.
Just to let Ben know, on September 30th, Toxic Avenger will be available digitally. So there you go.
Oh, okay, good.
There you go.
Because I have a coworker who loved it. I host a movie podcast through the station. So I see one every week here, and that was supposed to be. I have to review this freaking thing tomorrow, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. It's just given the political environment right now, I was like, oh, this is a bit heavy.
Are you reading any comics right now?
No, unfortunately, it's been a minute since I've had anything good. I think, I don't even know what the last one I would have gone through was, but it's been a minute. Do you have something on your list?
Well, right now, I was talking to Victor about this before we came on air. Marvel Comics right now is in the middle of a miniseries called One World Under Doom. Dr. Doom has taken over the planet. He is the new Sorcerer Supreme and also pretty much the dictator of the Earth. He has managed to take over the entire planet, and none of the superheroes can figure out how he did it. And I will tell you, it's an 8-issue miniseries. It's up to 7 now. It's essentially if Doom were Donald Trump. It's all the Trump stuff, the authoritarianism, how people in the media react, how you have folks like he has his own MAGA types. Doom has his own MAGA types that they praise him on television, they praise him on social media, all that. It is so of the moment.
Right.
Ryan North, the writer from Fantastic Four, is doing the series, and I have no idea how this thing's going to end. I really have no idea how it's going to end.
What if there is no ending?
It sounds reminiscent of Dark Reign when Norman Osborn became president and he put all the Sinister Six in the cabinets. And I've made this point on my show before. You know how every one of those stories always ends up ending? All the villains' egos get in the way and they devour themselves. And I am a firm believer that will happen in real life as well. So I'll hold out hope for that.
Same here. I remember I made a meme a few years back. I took the Legion of Doom, an image of the Legion of Doom from the animated series, from the Bruce Timm Justice League Unlimited series. Mm-hmm. And if you look at it, I made the comment on the meme. Oh, look, the Legion of Doom is more diverse than Trump's cabinet. Because it had all different sexes, different people of color, as well as, like Luthor. And they're going, look at that. Even the Legion of Doom is better.
That's ironic.
It is. Okay, Ben, tell us, what do you have outside of reviewing movies? What else do you have coming up in the week?
So I am much more of an economically focused dude politically. Like, I very much, no matter who's in charge, I'm a millennial, right? I'm going to be 38 on Sunday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Hey, thank you. That's what I focused on. And Axios reporting, it doesn't matter what food group you're monitoring, that price is up. You see the Open Door or Glassdoor, which is a hiring company, is bragging that they have 1,400 employees, and with their AI, they said, honestly, we don't know what anyone does outside of about 200 people. So, like, even the company known for getting people jobs is like, yeah, we're cutting 80% of our jobs due to AI, and just kind of focusing on there's got to be a backup plan. I am very pro AI doing jobs for us, not necessarily radio, but the jobs nobody wants to do. But there has to be an exit plan. I often state I don't know how cashier is still a job. No disrespect to cashiers, but it just feels like we have the technology, and the only reason it's still a job is because, like, 13 million people have that as a career. So you can't have that huge jump in unemployment, and we don't have a backup plan. So that's what I'm focusing on tomorrow, is just economics, the way things are trending. Trump put a new person on the Fed, what do you call that, the governor's board or whatever that thing's called. He got somebody from BlackRock on there, it looks like. Going to be a lot of economics tomorrow.
Gonna lower those interest rates, and then everybody's gonna be back because you can use your credit card again and run it all the way up.
It'll be interesting to see the reviews of the employees from Glassdoor that got fired, putting it on Glassdoor.
On Glassdoor, yeah. Yeah, that would be
right.
Irony defined. Ben, thank you so much for spending this time with us. Thanks for geeking out and indulging my my little bit of a geeky, nerdy diversion. I appreciate your indulging me.
Of course. I'll talk that way any time. I needed to get long walk off my chest anyway, so glad to do it.
Maybe I'm going to wait for video. I'm going to wait for home streaming. So if I need to, like, pause it, go to the bathroom, have a cry, I'll do that.
There you go. Yeah.
This is Spinal Tap 2, though, is out in theaters. If you want to, that's another thing you can do to clear your palate.
Yes, I enjoyed that one. That was a lot of fun.
This is Spinal Tap 2. All right, thank you. We've been joined by Ben Cominos, host of Outside the Box from WHBY 1150 AM in Appleton, Wisconsin. This has been the Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez with special guest hosts Elliott Serrano and Victor Aragon. This is our last hard break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little more geeky stuff with Victor Aragon and what it's like to raise a kid in today's pop culture milieu. I don't even call it milieu. All right, folks. We'll be right back. And WCPT and the Heartland Signal.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Mulford. 62 tonight, under mainly clear skies, northeast winds at around 5 miles an hour. Tomorrow, 85. Lows level off around 62. Tomorrow night, mainly clear. Mainly clear Thursday, with daytime highs approaching 86. 83 Friday. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 78 Saturday, 78 Sunday, and 81 on Monday. That's your latest Chicago weather update. Currently, it's 79 degrees.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
WCPT will be broadcasting a live in-person Union Strong panel on Wednesday, October 15th from 3 to 5 p.m. And you're invited. Join me, Tom Hartman, and WCPT's morning host, Richard Chu, at the Ironworkers Local 63 Training Center in Broadview. Panelists include Paul Wendy from Ironworkers Local 63, Rob Fulton from Riggers Local 136, Cliff Horowitz from Horowitz & Associates, Andy Rico from IBEW Local 176, and Tom Villanova from Southland Friends of Labor. This event is proudly sponsored by Ironworkers Local 63, Riggers Local 136, Horowitz & Associates, IBEW Local 176, and Southland Friends of Labor. Wednesday, October 15th from 3 to 5 p.m., Ironworkers Local 63 Training Center, 2523 Lexington Street in Broadview. That's just off the 25th Street exit on the Eisenhower Expressway. All listeners must register to attend this free event at WCPT820.com. Just click on the banner.
There are 1,000 ways to say it.
Nope. Knock it off. Shut it down. Dream on. No dice. Give it a rest. Not a chance.
Or just
all text. You focus on the road.
As a passenger, you have the power to prevent an accident. There are 1,000 ways to stop a distracted driver. Choose one.
A message from CTIA.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now.
All right, let's hit it.
At 773-763-9278.
I got a lot to say.
He's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
We are driving it home, but this is the guest host duo of Elliott Serrano, Chicago's King of Geeks and Chief Geek Officer for the Patti Vasquez Show, joined by Victor Aragon, one of the content creators, founders, and all-around media types for fandads.com. You are listening to us here, and if you want to call in and ask Victor questions about being a fan dad or anything else, you can call us on the Credo mobile phone and text line, which is 773-763-9278. Not only that, WCPT listeners now get 25% off for 2 years at Credo Mobile with the code WCPT25. Again, go to credomobile.com, use the code WCPT25 to get 25% off for 2 years. It's Credo Mobile, a progressive phone company that is better for all people and the planet. Visit Credo, C-R-E-D-O, mobile.com. And be sure to tune into the Rick Smith Show every weeknight at 7 o'clock and the Politics Bar with Jody Hamilton and Sean Smith-Pierce every weeknight at 8. And at 9 o'clock, WCPT brings you the Matt McNeil Show from Minneapolis. We are coming to you live from the studios here in Chicago, North Milwaukee. And we're coming in all over the Heartland signal. You know, it's so nice to be able to not only talk to folks here at WCPT AM 820 in Chicago, but also reach out to the folks at KTNF AM 950 in Minnesota, as well as 1150 KKNW in Seattle. We're everywhere, man. We're out. We're hitting everything.
Nice.
Ain't it nice?
Yeah.
All right. So now that we get now I'm going to take a moment to breathe. I feel like I've been going kind of nonstop, and can you believe I've had no coffee this whole time?
You're telling me that.
I tend to be a little more manic when I have coffee. And then during the break, remember how I was talking during the break? I was talking about my not wearing contacts because I can't read.
Yeah.
I think the 262 was listening because they were saying, "Hey, you need to pay way more for bifocal contacts." Yeah, and they didn't tell you that. Like, I know. I want bifocal. She goes, they went, this happened to me years ago, and I couldn't even look in the mirror to put the regular ones in. Do I have to get bifocal contacts? Is that what it is?
I didn't even know there was a thing.
Yeah, apparently is a thing. Interesting. How did it stay in place?
Like, what if you put them upside down?
Yeah, and I had to look up so I can read better. I had to put it up above my head.
Stand on your head.
That's what happens when you get old. Yeah. When you're aging. I'm Gen X, so Ben said he's a millennial. I'm Generation X. What are you?
I think X.
I think we're both Gen X, right? Yeah, we're around the same age.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little older than you.
I mean, I use.
But somehow you have more gray hair than I do. It's because you got 2 kids, man. That'll do it to you. That'll gray your hair.
Yeah, that and working in a school. So.
Well, that yes. Okay, let's talk about that a bit. Okay, fandads.com. Mm-hmm. It's been going on for 15 years. You and your buddy Gil said, "Hey, let's talk about being an adult, a responsible adult that's still into comic books and games and toys." And then you're also, you have kids. And kids naturally gravitate to certain things. Curious, have your kids proven to gravitate to the same things you like? Or have you discovered that there's stuff that you didn't even know about that you've discovered through them?
Yeah. I mean, when they were growing up, I had a couple shelves in my house with action figures or statues or whatnot. So yeah, my daughter would see those and she gravitated towards Spider-Man. So she loves Spider-Man. She loves Star Wars. Jar Jar is her favorite character as much as people but Jar Jar was made for her.
Exactly. Again, it sounds controversial. But they just did a recent documentary on that. The kids that the prequels were made for that the old fuddy-duddies hate because it's not my Star Wars. Exactly. I want Andor. Yeah. That's my Star Wars. Oh, gosh, get over yourselves. But I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, and then my son, he's into the comic books.
Mm-hmm. Is he a Marvel or a DC kid, or he's care?
Marvel. He reads a lot of Marvel stuff. Yeah. If they read DC, they can't come inside the house. No,
I used to be that way. No,
but I mean, we go to Free Comic Book Day. They'll grab whatever they want. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's more into that aspect of it, and then Stranger Things, and a lot of the shows that are on television. But the thing with both of them is they got me on to Gravity Falls because I wasn't really watching TV when that came out. Mm-hmm. So them watching it, I got into that. With my daughter, I got into K-pop. So
K-pop is huge.
Yes,
that is huge. And I gotta say, I kind of dig it myself. I watch some of those videos. Those kids are talented. They do some crazy stuff. The dancing, the lyrics. I mean, you don't know. It's funny. For folks who've never heard K-pop, go to YouTube. It's all over. Mm-hmm. And the great thing about it is that we talk about. It's like Backstreet Boys, on the nth level. They take it to a completely different level, and they're all good-looking, either good-looking young Korean, boys, or I call it boys, but they're young men, or the women, are just gorgeous, and they dance and they do the whole thing. But they'll do this song that you don't understand it until they get to the hook, and it's in English.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, okay, what's that? Oh no, I don't understand the rest of it.
Yeah, but so they got me into that. I mean. But I mean, it's kind of cool too, because like you were saying, what have they exposed me to? So that, different artists that are out there that I don't even listen to nowadays. So when Lollapalooza comes on, I'm I don't know half of these, and then they'll be able to tell me, oh, this person is this. So I'm learning new music with them, which is which is great. But yeah, I mean, and then with my son, he's always watching. I mean, I hate that he's watching a lot of videos every now and then on YouTube, but he's able to tell me certain things that I haven't even thought of. He'll come up to me and be like, "Hey, did you know this is what's supposedly going to happen in Doomsday?" I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds cool and all, but I'd rather wait till I hear it from the actual people." And then later on, it comes out being right. Some of the stuff that he'll tell me.
Spoilers. Come on, kid. Stop spoiling me. Jeez.
But it's kind of cool though, just to experience some of these things with them, watching movies that I watched growing up, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna watch this today. I want to see what you guys think of it." Sixth Sense was one of those movies that I loved, and I saw watching with them, and then they kind of figured it out.
Oh, they figured it out.
Yeah, and I'm maybe they saw it online, a spoiler video online or whatnot. But it's just cool to experience some of these things with them. When Empire was in the theaters again, we all went to see it in the theater, so it was kind of cool.
Were they surprised? Because everyone's heard the Luke, I am your father. But
I mean, I think by the time my daughter was in second grade, she already knew because it's everywhere. But it's always great just to see it again. I mean, they're both neat, how we always watched it on television, and then when the special editions came out again, it's the way you're supposed to see it. So when they see these things on the screen again, it's kind of cool.
You talk about your kids, your son watching YouTube videos and but that, I know, that makes me think of the challenge that a lot of parents have these days when their kids are getting exposed to a lot of digital media. Do your kids get on social media at all?
Not my son. The main reason we got him a phone was because he had dance practice and gymnastics. So if I'm running late, we needed a way to get a hold of him to let him know, hey, we're going to be a couple minutes late. Same thing with my daughter. But yeah, she does have her Instagram account. She does have TikTok. and all that. So I mean, what we've seen, like that's when she's on it, it's nothing that's worrying. It's usually like clothes trends, or, you know, like she does nails, like, so she'll do her friend's nails. So it's a lot of like videos like that and tutorials and whatnot. But I do get worried that like one day, like, you know, they're going to see something that maybe they shouldn't see, especially what's going on in the world, you know. So they'll get exposed to that. I mean, she does have anxiety every now and then, because like when the school does like the practice the lockdown drills and all that, like, why do we got to talk about this while in the school? It's nervous for her. It's but I mean, we always just try to like have conversations at home about why these things are important to do. And then, like I said, working in the school, like even with my students, I got to let them know, like, we got to practice, because you never know. And it's just always good just to be prepared.
I think the other thing too, outside of what content your kids can get exposed to, but the addictive nature of it. Like, you know, you have, I see some kids, and they're getting younger and younger. Like, I will go to the store and I will see like the kid can't be more than 4 or 5, and they're sitting in the basket and they've got a phone in front of them, and they're watching videos and stuff like that. And it's like, and if you take that phone away from them, they're gonna have a fit. I mean, they're getting addicted to the digital content. I mean, what are things that you use to kind of like manage that and make sure you don't run into that?
Well, basically like screen times. Like, you can't be on it during like while we're eating dinner. After school, maybe like an hour, but you need to get your homework and all that stuff done first. So there's like priorities. You got to get this done before you can get on it. For my son, it's like he gets on it for a couple times throughout the day, but then it's like once 9 hits, you can't be on any screen at all. You get your stuff together, get ready to go to bed. My daughter, I mean, she's in her room, so it's like kind of like, you know, what's going on there? You know, what are you watching? But usually she's on her computer either doing homework or watching like something on Netflix.
Well, they say that. I even told myself I cannot look at my phone after a certain point, because the blue light, it really wakes you up. I'm telling you, if you're having a hard time waking up in the morning, you don't need coffee. Just turn on your phone. Turn on your Facebook page. You're going to wake up in seconds, because the blue light that comes from your phone does all this stuff to the neurons in your head and just gets you going. And that means it's harder for you to fall asleep if you're on your phone after a certain time at night. And I think with kids, I mean, how often do you run into this thing like at school where you have kids falling asleep in class?
I see it every now and then. Yeah, but it's usually like either they just slept late, but they're probably on their phone.
On their phone. So that's like a challenge that a lot of parents encounter. And these days is because, remember they used to say the television was a babysitter? You know, that's how the Disney home video became huge, because parents would buy the movies. They would put it in the VCR. Folks, there was this thing. And back in my day, we had a thing called the video cassette recorder. And you took this thing. It was the size of a grilled cheese, like a long grilled cheese. And you put it into the slot. And then wonderful music came out of it. Tinkerbell would come out in the beginning.
With the DVD. Coming soon on DVD.
On DVD. Or remember VHS.
Or VHS, yeah.
But then 90 minutes. It was like if you needed a break, just put that movie in. You had silence for 90 minutes, because Disney learned the perfect way to keep your kids occupied for those 90 minutes. Well, I don't know if we've been able to keep people occupied for the past 2 hours, but hopefully. All right, folks, this is our last break before we get to the end of the show. This is the Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez on WCPT, Heartland Signal, and Alternative Talk, KKNW, as well as KTNF. AM 950 in Minnesota. We're going to take one more break, and we'll be right back with Elliott Serrano and Victor Aragon of Fan Dance.
Dive deeper into the heart of the news and stories at WCPT 820 and across the Midwest by checking out our website, heartlandsignal.com.
It's the coverage I can count on every time.
For the latest news updates, in-depth analysis, compelling stories, comprehensive election coverage, live streams, and thought-provoking opinions, head to heartlandsignal.com.
When I need to know, they're there.
They keep me informed and updated wherever I am.
Stay informed with WCPT 820, your go-to source for where facts matter.
Listen up, fellow timeshare owners. If you're a timeshare owner and you want out at all costs, you're done, frustrated, tired of wasting money, you don't use the darn thing. Get out now. Hire the best Bulldog timeshare cancellation team in the business. Their in-house legal team, headed by a timeshare cancellation lawyer, can help you fight the biggest and baddest companies out there that sell timeshare. At some point, you were using your timeshare, but now you're not, and you're tired of wasting money. Before you go to the poorhouse, call right now and learn how you can stop the maintenance fees and put more money back in your pocket. Their services cost you a lot less than you think, and you'll save a lot of money over time. Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline now. It's a free consultation.
800-296-0150. 800-296-0150. 800-296-0150. That's 800-296-0150.
When I first had my baby, I'd get comments all the time about how happy I must be. I remember thinking, I want to be happy. Why don't I feel that way? It was hard to admit that, even to my doctor. But I'm glad I did. She told me it was postpartum depression, and that is very treatable. These days, things are feeling good, and we're both happier about that. Right, little man? I'll take that as a yes.
Mental health care is working for Simone. See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Because facts matter. You are listening to WCPT 820.
Welcome back to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez with special guest hosts Elliott Serrano, Chicago's King of Geeks, and Victor Aragon of fandads.com. Coming to you live from the studios here in Chicago. And you can listen live weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. at 8:20 a.m. on TuneIn from heartlandsignal.com, or watch the live video stream on Facebook and YouTube. I like telling my smart speaker to play the show. You say, Alexa, play WCPT. There it is. Hey, Google. Or if you want to be spicy about it, hello, Siri. Siri, play me that progressive talk. You know you want to. And, of course, if you want to call in before we leave for the evening and you want to have any questions to ask Victor Aragon of FanDads, talking about the raising kids as a pop culture maven, you can call us on the Credo phone or text line. That's 773-763-9278. Either send us I have the text line right in front of me. If you want to send in the message, I can read it. I can read the question real quick. Or if you want to call in, 773-763-9278 is the Credo mobile phone and text line. And WCPT listeners get 25% off for 2 years at Credo Mobile with the code WCPT25. So if you go to the website, credomobile.com, and you enter the code WCPT25, you will get 25% off your contract for 2 years. This is offered by Credo Mobile, a progressive phone company that is better for all people and the planet. Again, visit Credo, CREDO, mobile.com. So what's coming up next for you, Victor? You have any film festivals or screenings or any fun stuff you're going to give away, stuff like that?
Giveaway? I think we just did Gabby's Dollhouse. So we gave away tickets for a screening this Saturday, coming up Saturday. I'm covering Fantastic Fest remotely, which is kind of cool. So they're going to be I've been getting links to my email to watch movies at home. So just trying to find a time to watch them. And then the Chicago International Film Festival is coming up on October 15th to 26th. And that one's always, I remember always wanting to go there, but I couldn't really afford it back then. And it was one of those that so many great movies are coming in, so many, fantastic actors and actresses. But now being able to cover it, it's like a dream for me. So I'm excited that it's coming up this Thursday, the 18th. Thursday 18th, yeah. They're going to announce the full lineup, so we'll get to see all the movies that are coming out right now. They've announced the international features, the new director, documentary, and the Outlook competition. So there's some good films there. And then today they announced that the Criterion Closet is going to be here. So people get 3 minutes to go inside, pick some movies. You get, I think, 40% off whatever you pick. But I mean, those are always my favorite videos to see the directors and actors go in there and what their picks are and why their picks. So I have some in my mind already of what I would like to get. So I'm just going to try to save up some money to get in there.
Well, the Criterion, every once in a while, they do flash sales on their website, too.
Yeah.
And they do 50% off of everything that's in stock. So
yeah, I think there's one going on right now.
Yeah.
I think it's 30%. So I'm maybe I'll wait.
From the 773. Hi, guys. The radio app always gets me up in the morning. Hey, there we go. The radio app can do that. So you can listen to WCPT on the radio app. I think a lot of times the thing about film festivals that people should know is these are films that are in festivals that are looking for distributors. Yeah. And sometimes they don't make it past the festival. And the thing that I always because you hear people say this all the time. Hollywood keeps repeating things. All they do is sequels. They don't have any new ideas. I'm like, first, film festivals show new types of films all the time. So if you want to see, quote unquote, something new that Hollywood, that you say Hollywood's not putting out, the film festival is a place to do that. Yes. And then add to that when the new stuff actually gets released, go and see it. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of times, too, like at these festivals, a lot of the movies that play there end up being Oscar contenders before they're even out in theaters. So people are like, well, why is this, being nominated? I never saw it. I'm like, because it's still running in the festival circuit.
Right.
But there's, like you said, there's a lot of great movies out there that, that will never get the light of day, unfortunately. And this is like the only way for people to see them. And it's like, there's just so many good things. One movie I saw last year, I don't remember which festival it was, but it was called The Color Book. And it was about a father just trying to take his son to a Dodgers game. And while that seems like, it's like, a pretty simple premise, I mean, there was so many things that happened, and his son is also suffering from Downs. So it was just like the whole father-son dynamic, just trying to give his son this one great day. And it was such a touching movie. And like, I don't think it's ever been played anywhere else. I think you might be able to find it online, but it was just like one of those movies that I saw that I'm like, I want more people to see this.
As someone who's actually gone to a Dodgers game in Los Angeles, I can only imagine how harrowing that was. Because I'm telling you, it's a nightmare going to the games. A nightmare. Traffic is horrendous. People talk about, Dodgers fans, they just show up at the third inning. No, it's not that they just showed up. It's that they couldn't get in until then. The traffic to get to that park, it's like on the top of a mountain, and you got to drive up the thing, and everyone's going at the same time. I remember I went to go see the Dodgers with my brother, and we gave ourselves so much lead time, hours in advance. We barely made it in the middle of the first inning. Oh, wow. Barely, with as much advance time as we gave. And it took forever to get out of that parking lot. Forever. And they don't allow tailgating.
Oh, nice.
Can you imagine sitting around a parking lot with a trunk full of beer and you're not allowed to drink it? That alone is a movie, a horror movie.
There you go. Write it, and then it'll be at the next.
It'll be the next festival. Yeah. All right. So, what else is going on? What are the things you got going on? What's going on the FanDad site right now?
Right now, I'm working on a review for the Lego Rebuild the Galaxy. Pieces of the Past. It was on Disney Plus. I enjoyed it.
I don't know. I am so jealous again because I see you get all the cool stuff, the swag, and I mean, and the thing I keep going by the Rebuild the Galaxy Black Millennium Falcon in Target, and every once in a while it's on sale. But I'm like, oh man, I can't justify. I'm working like 3 part-time jobs. I cannot justify doing that right now.
I haven't bought it myself anything in the longest because it's just like things have been, tight or whatever. But yeah, every now and then when we go to Target or like any toy store or whatever, when they have toys, I'm just like, that would be great, but I just can't right now.
Just can't, man. It's this Trump's America, man. He's killing the nerds. Killing us geeks.
Yeah, I feel bad because I haven't gone to my local comic book store in a while, and I'm like, I always hate. Like every now and then, like, certain places will put up like a stack of like, this is a person that never came back for their comics. Yeah. And it's like, I know they're losing money on those books, but the place I go to, Dark Tower, I mean, they're pretty cool with me. So I'll email them every now and then and be like, hey, I'm going to be a little late. And they're like, no worries. But they know that I'll be there.
And I know one of the distributors, Diamond Distributors, went out of business. And a lot of comic shops got pretty much the short end of the stick on that. Some have gone out of business because of it. Yeah. And for nerdy folks, I mean, that was something that these tariffs that supposedly aren't affecting anybody. No. We're seeing small businesses shut down left and right, and it's all being caused by the tariffs and other things. Mm-hmm. Okay. I need to bounce back from this right now. I've already just put myself into a depression.
What about zombies? Marvel Zombies is coming out.
Marvel Zombies is going to be on Disney Plus. Yes. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And again, I'm waiting for the end of One World Under Doom because that's going to be interesting. They've already, apparently there was a Disney, was a D23 or whatever, the Disney Expo in Shanghai. And supposedly they showed Doctor Doom, what Doctor Doom is going to look like in the Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
Which, if that's how he looks, I have no complaints. He looks just like he would in the comic book.
Yeah, kind of like how the thing looked perfect.
Oh yeah,
for me.
Yeah.
So if they just do that with Doom, then I think a lot of people are going to be happy.
I would be happy too because for folks who weren't aware, Dr. Susana Flores, a frequent guest on this show, she's written books like Untamed: The Psychology of Wolverine, as well as Face Hooked, a book about how social media affects your brain. We're talking. She wrote this long before people were talking about how the algorithms are addictive and how they do something. So she and I are working on She and I are partnering this time on a book about the psychology of Doctor Doom, and we want to have it ready for Doomsday in December of next year.
Nice.
And we currently have the manuscript at her agents right now. We're waiting to hear back what they say.
Awesome.
And then if they really like it, then I got to start cranking out more chapters. We're already up to the chapter where we talk about Victor Von Doom's relationship with Reed Richards, which I just want to title it Petty is a Superpower.
Yeah.
He is. Victor Von Doom is, if anything, the pettiest mofo out there.
Which leads to the One World
Under Doom.
Yeah.
All right. Victor, how can people follow you and learn more about you?
Just fandads.com is the website, and we are at Fandads on Twitter. I still call it Twitter. On Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, if anyone still uses that.
It's still out there. People use Pinterest still. Just get a Reddit page. That's where everyone's going now, on Reddit.
All right. Yeah, but we're on there, and you can just watch our interviews, our videos, our unboxings, our movie reviews. Everything's on there.
And if anything you want to send my way, any cool swag, I'll take it off your hands.
Yeah,
you don't have a lot of room.
I don't know if you saw the Bad Guys 2 stuff. If you want any of that stuff, it's just
the kids love that. I hate taking that from a kid who really loves Bad Guys. That's my whole thing. Oh, that's really cool. Nah, I don't want to take it from a kid. All right, folks. For Victor Aragon, I am Elliott Serrano. Thank you so much for listening this evening. We really appreciate all the regulars who called in. And hey. I'll be back tomorrow with Ken Mejia Beal on another afternoon of, nuttiness and nerdiness. Hold on. Coming up next is Rick Smith. Thank you, everyone. As always, be kind to each other and love one another. See you next time.
If you're an experienced homeowner who's outlived your assets or your spouse recently passed away, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local reverse mortgage lender. Alice, 90, widow, income $24,000 a year, living in a $500,000 home with no mortgage. Alice's husband recently passed away and she was terrified about losing her home, so her daughter called for information about a reverse mortgage. We helped Alice secure a reverse mortgage, which allowed her to access $300,000 tax-free dollars.